I'm Sean McMillan. Here's my co-host, Richard Morrow.
What up, though?
He's so cool. He's so cool for school. Thank you for tuning in. We have an amazing episode planned for you, so sit down and relax. And we're going to take you probably around the country and around the world. Yep. It won't be the trip that you imagined for yourself, but it might still be good for the soul.
Yeah, it's not your regular spring break vacation. Let's see. We're going to start off in Singapore.
See?
You ever been to Singapore?
Don't want to go.
No?
Not interested.
I just heard recently they're offering people money to take vacations there. Airline is, I'm pretty sure, giving out like 500,000 free flights or something. Crazy. It was Hong Kong? It wasn't Singapore? No? It was Hong Kong then. Something like that. Tomato.
That's where he likes to go. I want to go to Paris.
I do too.
I want to go to London.
I may be going to Paris later this year.
I want to go to
Excited about that. But anyway, on the topic of Singapore, that none of us have been to. According to the CNA, a man was rejected by a woman, and he's suing her for over $3 million over trauma from finding out that he's only a friend.
What?
He wants $3 million in damages for being only a friend.
Is you serious?
This is a real story.
It's a real story?
Mm-hmm.
It made Aaron laugh. 2
lawsuits.
And he don't laugh at nothing. You know how many great jokes I've told that he still didn't laugh, but he laughed at that.
He said it was emotional trauma.
Who was he suing? Her?
Yeah.
So he's suing somebody because he wants to be more than a friend.
For failing to improve the relationship and for the emotional trauma he suffered.
So he thinks that that's a way to achieve what?
$3 million?
A change in status?
I don't know.
Here's my thing, though. Put the money aside for a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is an important point. One has to always consider what will be the consequences of what it is you're endeavoring to do.
Yeah.
And if the goal is to be closer, suing you is not going to get there.
Not gonna make.
Now, if the goal is to inflict pain and suffering on someone, then the person was justified in leaving you in the category that she left you in. In fact,
sounds like it.
In fact, she should have demoted you out of the friend.
You shouldn't even have been a friend anymore.
I wanted to be more than a friend, and I love you so much that now I'm suing you for $3 million because you wouldn't make me more than a friend when I'm acting like
and
less.
Told me I'm only a friend.
Yeah, I'm acting like less than an enemy now.
Oh, baby, you. She said you're just a friend.
That's safer.
That's safer.
Safer. Yeah, that's safer.
Y'all don't, you might know what he's talking about because we had a funny episode in regards to me quoting songs. Anyway, he tried to say that she caused damage to his stellar reputation, and it followed with trauma and depression and impacts to his life over a 24-month period. So he blamed her for 2 years of his life being in turmoil because he must have really loved this woman, or he's just nuts.
You loved her so much that she's suing?
I don't know.
That. That's not,
or you don't love her at all. One of the two.
That's not what love does. Love doesn't sue you after I don't get what I want.
I mean, yeah, take it from a bunch of people that have been married.
But again, just because you're married doesn't mean it was love.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who, anyway, I don't understand. I don't understand how people think that being resentful and angry.
Yeah. Well,
is this person rich that he's suing? He's not going to get $3 million. There's not a court in the world that's going to give this man $3 million.
Yeah. I mean, she filed a protection order against him, which she probably needs. It sounds like he's a little bit obsessed. And she countersued him.
Okay, they both crazy.
They're both crazy.
Yeah, they both crazy. They deserve it.
Yeah.
No, they do. Because you don't countersue. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to countersue. There's I don't know what that was.
I was about to say. Hope don't nothing come out of the ceiling.
Listen, if it does,
I'm gonna be the first one out of here.
Is every man for himself?
I'll be going so fast you'll forget I was here.
Listen, we gonna. Like, what the hell? I thought it was an earthquake.
I thought it was a mouse about to fall out the ceiling.
Listen, remember that story we did with the snakes? Snake him out of this ceiling. I'm gonna need about a month to recover.
I might have a heart attack.
I'm gonna file for, what's that thing you file for?
Whatever it is, I'm filing for all of them.
Emotional distress. Anyway.
I'm filing for all of them.
So this guy is an idiot. And,
Okay. So this is what you would say to him.
Oh, and if he's coming in front of me,
Yeah.
I would, what do you call I'm forgetting now. Anyway, I would put him in jail just for bringing.
This to your attention.
Yes. For making me have to sit there and listen to this.
So how do you feel about the friend zone?
Be more specific. What do you mean?
Do you think that's a good way to structure it, huh? What do you think about the whole concept of it? Do you think it's possible for people to venture out of the friend zone and then be put back into it? It doesn't say if she gave him signs of any kind of inclination that they were going to be together, so I don't know. But I guess hypothetically speaking, in any other situations, do you think that it's unfair to someone that gets friend zoned to be led on that, it would be more?
Well, it depends on why someone is in the so-called friend zone. If people are in the friend zone because they're not attracted to you, right? Mm-hmm. Then there's not much you're going to do to change that unless they can evolve their level of being attracted, their capacity to be attracted.
Okay.
But it's a dangerous thing to want to skip the so-called friend zone.
I think so too.
Because it is important, I think, that you are friends with the person that you're romantically spending time with. We treat our friends better than we treat the people we date all the time. We give our friends more grace and mercy than we ever give the people we're sleeping next to and putting our penises and vaginas up into each other, right? You in here slopping spit with somebody and exchanging sexual juices, but you won't give them grace. But you'll give your friend mercy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just because it's Sunday night and the Browns are playing.
You know what I'm saying? So what is this thing that we do where we want to skip being friends, or we don't value the time that we do spend as friends? Because we underestimate the power of a genuine friendship in the context of a healthy and helpful romance.
Yeah.
So I think people just want what they want when they want it.
Yeah.
So I'm attracted to you, I want you, and you should want me at the level that I want you
So
to.
then do you think it's unfair to not be consistent with where someone is? Like, say, that line becomes a little bit gray and somebody decides, you know what, I'm going to put you back in the friend zone now. Do you feel like the person that gets friend zoned is in the right in being upset about that and,
Well,
or do they have no right because at the end of the day?
Let's take the language of rights out of this.
Yeah, because
that's going to get us in trouble.
It's an opinion.
What they should do is have a conversation. Mm-hmm. They should not imply or infer or intuit, because the only way to truly understand what's going on is to be in dialogue with each other.
True.
So the moment you start getting close to where this is becoming more than friends, and you can tell, when
it's
things,
gradually,
that's the moment you say, what's going on?
Yeah.
Are you cool with this? Because I'm definitely cool with it.
I think that's where it gets tricky too, because some people, they don't have that gradual process. Sometimes it's like, just because we had, a first encounter that was drunk and we may have, had relations, now all of a sudden I'm no longer in the friend zone. And, that could be a confusing scenario. I feel like
but then you either talk before or you talk after.
Exactly. Communication.
It's crazy. You're being friends with someone, you end up having sex, right? Mm-hmm. And then after that, you just act like it didn't happen. Look, we didn't have sex. I sleep with you.
You still my dog.
I haven't seen you naked. I didn't have your penis in my mouth. You had your genitalia all over me.
We got to talk about it.
We got to talk about what just happened. All right? And it don't have to be a long conversation about your feelings. I mean, that's something I would do.
It's just like, what are we doing?
But it could be like, you good?
All right, I'm good. I'm good. You good? I'm good.
You want to be friends again? Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just accept where people are.
Yeah. That's the key word, accepting people where they are.
Accept where people are. Because, listen, I've learned, listen. I've learned the hard way. You can't make people want you.
Yeah.
You just can't. I've tried.
Yeah. And this guy, and he's using terrible methods by trying to sue her.
Yeah, you can't make people want you.
Yeah, that ain't gonna make her want him more. I'll tell you that.
But instead of suing somebody, why don't you have a conversation?
Yeah, it's free.
If you, it's free. Great point.
It's very free.
We had to pause on that. Great point. But if you really wanted to be with somebody, then let me say it better. If you really care about somebody, then care about them when they don't want you. Well, that's good.
That's real good.
I can just walk off.
Yeah, he can walk off and we can end the show right there.
Right there and be done. That blessed me.
That was a good one.
I got deliverance myself.
Yeah, no, that was a good one though.
Yeah.
You got to care about people at all times. It can't be circumstantial.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like love. Like if you're going to love somebody, love me at my worst, love me at my best, because at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter if you love me. I feel that. Good message. Good message. Man, this one's kind of wild, and we've kind of been talking about this a little bit, but I'm not even gonna say it's wild. I'm pretty disappointed actually, and you'll see why. According to the Fortune, men are creating.
Lead up.
I know, because you're gonna see why. Just wait till you hear.
What the hell is he talking about?
You're about to see. According to the Fortune, men are creating AI girlfriends, verbally abusing them, and bragging about it online.
Men are in trouble.
That's why I said, I'm like, I don't even know what to say.
Sometimes I'm ashamed to be a man. So go over this again. Men are creating artificially intelligent girlfriends.
Verbally abusing them and then going online and bragging about how they abuse their
artificial AI girlfriends.
So check me out. A friendship app was created.
Hold on a second.
All right, I won't dive into it.
You know what I've noticed? You may disagree, but I'm gonna say it anyway. A lot of the people, let's say a lot of straight men don't actually like women.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
No, hear me out. They're attracted to women. They like to sleep with women.
They don't actually like them.
They don't actually like them.
Yeah. I can see it.
What kind of man do you have to be?
Yeah.
Well, you create an artificial girlfriend.
Just to abuse.
Just to abuse and to tell people that you abuse her. You don't like women.
Yeah.
Now, you may get off with women. You may be attracted to them.
Yeah, but it sounds like a deep hate almost when you hear it like that, you know?
You're making my point.
Exactly.
A little clarion.
Yeah. It's kind of wild, man. I'm honestly almost at a loss for words because I don't understand in what capacity you would need to do something like this.
Crazy.
I think some people really get off on abuse, and it's
but they're not see, I get it if it's what do you call it when you like people to beat you?
Like a power thing. I don't know.
It's I get the sadomasochist thing, but that's you, right? You know, receiving the punishment, right? You like to get beat, you like to get slapped and spanked. Okay, that's fine, but this is getting joy out of demeaning, disrespecting someone that's not even real.
Yeah, which is a gateway to doing it towards real people, which is something they're bringing up. They said, for one example, one user admitted that he alternated between being cruel and violent to his AI girlfriend, calling her humiliating names and pretending to hit her and pull her hair, and then returning to beg her for forgiveness. And they say that it's a worrying trend indicative of future abuse on real humans, while others suggest that it's a healthy way to let out aggression on an unfeeling target.
Yeah, but let's not treat the symptom, let's treat the cause. Why are we producing men that have this kind of aggression towards women? Like, what is that about?
I don't understand.
And this is the part I don't understand. I'm sorry.
I'm someone so far from the,
But let me
yeah.
Explain this to me, and maybe you can help us with this. When you say artificial intelligence girlfriend, is it a physical thing or someone who just talks?
It's a chat bot, so...
It's actually a 3D avatar. You can engage with it, talk to it. You can make it look a certain way.
But it's not an actual
It's like in a game?
So it's not a sex toy?
No.
Not like that, okay.
Talk to and manipulate, but it's all digital.
Because I know that they have these sex
they
toys
do.
and stuff.
They have full
and I was
dolls.
just imagine if they had AI technology and that some people probably would never date a human again.
Okay.
I'm serious. People carrying around sex toys at airports and all kind of stuff now. It's serious to some people. So if the toy could talk and have a whole artificial intelligence behind it, I imagine some people would probably not deal with humans no more. I'm not one of them.
I was just about to inquire.
But I've seen so many stories the last couple of years that it's kind of blowing my mind. I think people that aren't social and that maybe don't get attention from other people are using this as an opportunity to, I don't know what they're using an opportunity for. They're using it as an opportunity.
let me say this. I don't tend to get a lot of attention from a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I'd be damned
If you result
if I'm walking through the airport with a doll talking about this is my boo, trying to have sex with it in the bathroom.
Man.
I mean, I know. No. I asked the question because you mentioned pulling the hair.
Yeah, which is wild.
So I was like, is it a doll or is it
Yeah, so I guess you can do that on, the platform that they're using, but it says that the chatbots don't feel emotional or physical pain in response to being mistreated, but they do have the ability to respond like saying, stop that.
Why is that funny?
Because it's like, who are these people that are interacting with this 3D avatar on a computer and getting off on it telling them to stop and it deciding, oh, I'm gonna virtually pull this thing's hair now and I'm gonna abuse. Like that sounds like some real beginning of like some serial killer type stuff. I was in Mindhunter.
He was in Mindhunter, people.
So
on Netflix.
So
I remember the scene too.
So I remember diving into that world and seeing what's going on and what, the origin of all that was. They were studying behavior of serial killers before they became serial killers to understand why they became serial killers. And a lot of that stuff stemmed around them doing cruel stuff to animals and toys and, their peers when they were younger, before they even knew that they were, gonna turn into violent acts, towards people. So I think that these are early indicators that they could be using towards people that probably aren't healthy in the mind and that need to be rehabilitated or something in some way. Personally.
You didn't even need me for that.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a bigger issue is going on there.
Rich did that on his own, people.
Hey, I'm getting better at this. Okay, so according to Buzz, this is actually taking us to Australia, one of my places.
Yeah.
Why is that your
We won't say why. But keep going.
I just got some roots in Australia. We just gonna put it that way. According to Buzz, a study shows that women can smell the difference between single men and those with a partner. Do y'all think that's true?
Smell?
They can smell the difference between single men and men that have partners.
This is according to a study?
This is according to a study.
Okay.
They studied 82 heterosexual women between the ages of 18 and 35, and they had them smell T-shirts worn by men after they had exercised as one of the studies. And 45 of the men were in relationships, 45 of the men were single. Damn. And the study showed that they were tasked with rating the men based off of their attractiveness on their smell. And yeah, majority of women concluded that single men have more body odor than those in relationships.
What?
Can you believe that? I actually kind of do believe it.
Did they do this for the men?
I don't know if they did it the opposite way.
I want to know them studies.
Right.
Well, it's actually an unuseful skill.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the important thing is, can you smell a liar? Right?
Well,
yeah.
Smelling somebody is single or not. That's not even
That don't
half,
matter.
That's not even half the battle.
Even
It's
if
like,
he
what
married.
are they telling you?
Right.
Even if he married.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, until you can smell character, smelling singleness just doesn't sound like an
How do you
accomplishment.
smell
to me.
character?
You can't. That's the point.
Oh, you said it like
Need
you
to be
knew.
focused on that first.
I'm like, how do you do that? I'm trying to find out.
You know, smelling singleness.
One of the researchers wrote, and I quote, "From an evolutionary perspective, it may be advantageous for women to be able to detect the chemo signals that connote coupledom and ultimately avoid courting partnered males that have children or offspring, and eventually could lead to them being more stressed out because of.
That's ridiculous.
I think they're stretching it,
Yeah, that's
but
ridiculous.
yeah, I mean,
That's a huge stretch.
it's a stretch.
Putting a lot of trust in a smell.
Do you think somebody's smell changes when they start cheating?
That cracks you up, too.
Because that was one of the questions that I was talking about before that I may use that.
Damn.
No.
You don't think
Wait,
so?
re-answer that question.
Do you think somebody's smell changes when they start cheating?
Women can probably definitely smell.
pH levels start changing.
Yeah, I think they become some kind of like superhero FBI agent.
Their chemical balance.
Here's what I think. I think what happens is behaviors change.
Behavior
Yeah.
more than
Responses change.
Well, that's true.
anything. Yeah.
And so, and we've all been around people
And it's
Yeah.
the tiniest thing.
who are lying.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and when you look back on it, you realize I should have saw that. I should have saw that.
It starts to line up.
because the behavior changes.
Right.
Yeah. So not of course not the smell, but
Yeah.
listen.
But in relationships, and I know this may be on or off, let's just say y'all not really having sex a lot. That's a change of behavior, but it may
For
be
sure.
like you just don't
Absolutely.
feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
So some women take it as, why you cheating? Why you don't want to have sex? Like, we can't feel like we don't want to do it today? Nah.
nah.
They said, no, it's not possible for you. You want to do it today.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, no, I'm getting older.
No, but that's actually an important point, because here's what happens, is that people change behavior without conversation, and if you give people a story, they'll line up with you twice as fast when you put the behavior in context.
Yeah.
And we don't do that. We just do something, and we expect it to explain itself.
And I feel like naturally as humans, we fill in those blanks when we don't have a story attached to something. And there's no telling what you may fill those blanks in with. You know what I mean? You got your own crazy history of,
Right.
things that you've been through that
Right.
have nothing to do with the person that
Right.
you assume it about.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the verdict on this whole females being able to detect single men odor situation? Do you think it
I just
actually
think-
is valuable?
I just
or
think
not?
our women haven't, they advanced in something.
They haven't. They do talk about women's intuition, being something that's like of a sixth sense.
Advance.
They advanced.
But do you think that they have that capability?
No.
If they do, it's a wasted capability.
It's a waste. It's a wasted.
Totally wasted gift.
It brings me
Totally wasted.
It reminds me of something when I was younger, and this is a little bit different. But my mom, man, I used to believe she had a superpower because she told me that whenever I lied, a little blue dot would show up on my forehead. And she said this because she knew I could never see my own forehead. So therefore, I just had to take her word for it. When I
ain't
was
never looked
younger,
at a
I
mirror?
actually believed her. And
I have no idea what's
I felt like it
happening
was
right
kind
now.
of genius, but, that goes to say they don't have superpowers. Women aren't,
No, that's called good parenting.
It was good parenting.
Yeah, that's
and
what
she
that's
got
called.
me good because I truly, for years,
Well, the
thought
only thing I
that
believe
would
that my
happen.
mama told me was if she said if you look cross-eyed, you get stuck like that. I still believe
I
that. to this
remember
day.
that.
That's also called good parenting. Y'all had good mamas. That has nothing to do with the women in Australia smelling somebody who's single. It's not
maybe
a
when they hear
real
that.
thing. I don't care what they say in Australia.
Yeah, you're not buying
No.
it. All right, that's the vote.
I want to smell liars.
All the cologne I wear, you could smell
Yeah,
it.
you would be able to smell it.
smell that.
It smells engaged.
Most
video
most of
about
my
that.
smell would be annoyed.
He smells
That's my
annoyed.
default setting. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
She smell mad.
He smell angry.
I'm good.
That was funny.
That was a good one.
That was
a good
funny.
one. Oh, on to the
Carrie
next
can
one.
stay.
He can stay. He can
You
stay.
get the hell out, Tyler. Carrie can stay.
This is kind of a feel-good story. According to The Guardian, there's been studies going around basically saying that you have to set time aside for friendship and that the radical power of hanging out is becoming more and more important to our health. I think that should be a, well, duh kind of statement. But, I mean, people are now, I guess, starting to lean on friendship and valuing relationship and setting time aside to, you know, make that a part of our culture and having it be more of a priority. You all right over there?
I'm fighting with this mic. We're in a full-fledged war. Go ahead.
Yeah, but they're talking about how what free time most people have nowadays is spent watching television and doing things that don't really involve being social with other people. So they're saying that relationships are super essential to our mental, you know, health and physical well-being. So there's been more movements lately that have been around not, you know, being as socially isolated from other people, which I've always felt like we've needed more as people. I watch movies from the 90s now and I feel almost jealous that people are walking around and they don't have cell phones that they're on all day and they're actually interacting with people in the real world a lot more. And I'm glad about this. I hope that we can get more of it. I love my alone time at times, but I think people need to get used to being social again because there's some people that you could tell haven't had enough of it. What you think? You're very quiet over
I
there.
tuned out.
You probably twofold
I
on
totally started thinking about my car rolling down that hill. Because this is so obvious to me.
It is obvious, and that's why I said it should be a well done.
Why is this a thing? You need to spend time with other people lest you turn into a sociopath.
I think it comes from probably the younger generation that grew up with technology being in their hands and something that their, you know, whole lives basically end up revolving around if they let it. We didn't have to deal with that in our early childhoods, but
Well, we had no technology in my childhood.
yeah. But you look at, like, I have cousins that are younger and things of that nature. I got friends who have kids. Man, you got babies that are holding iPads now and playing video games. And it's like, man, I even watch kids play with games. I watch kids hold tablets watching other kids play with toys. When they could just have the toy and play with the toy themselves, they'd rather watch somebody else.
But isn't that bad parenting?
I think so.
It's just bad parenting. My kid is 2 or 4 or 5.
What happens when the adults are the same way?
Well, everybody's addicted to their phones in this
Sad,
country. Everybody's addicted to a screen.
Yeah.
And we're kind of glad that you are. Because you're watching, so we appreciate that. But the time we don't spend with other people cost us in human development.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why is there so much anxiety in this country? Why is it the case that people are frustrated with life and how unfair it is?
People comparing themselves.
It's because you don't go outside.
Yeah.
You don't actually engage with people.
Yeah.
You didn't learn on when I was growing up, you didn't learn on the basketball court that you're gonna lose. You can have a great team and somebody still come in and kick your ass.
Yeah, that's real.
Because you don't play well together.
Yeah.
These are things you can only learn on the playground.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You learn when to open your mouth, when to keep your mouth shut.
Because you might get hit in it.
Because there are people out here who can handle you.
Yeah.
There's certain situations will bless you with a certain level of experience and wisdom. Mm-hmm. If you don't have them, then the world becomes overwhelming.
And that's when your teachers.
Oh my God, I didn't pass. Yeah. Overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I'm not making. I am sort
just
of,
make soft people. Let's call it like it is.
I'm being facetious, but I don't. It helped me. Yeah. I don't understand your generation.
Stop saying your generation.
You're one of them.
I
do not understand how one problem is going to drive me to taking 30 pills tonight. Hey. Listen, I'd have been dead already.
Yeah, no, for real.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I do not understand how the most privileged, the most educated, the wealthiest, the most politically free, socially conscious generation can't cope with the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. You know, something that I thought about, though, because I'm a millennial, by the way. I'm not part of Generation Z or
Well, I
X
have
or whatever
nothing
the
to be
hell
proud
that
of
is.
either.
Just saying, we a little bit better. We was on the last tier of things before they got super weird. But one thing that I've noticed about Gen Z that I feel like really starts to stand out to me over time is how they grew up in a time where, and I forgot how I got started on the subject because I'm losing my train of thought. What did you just bring up right before that?
Well, just the notion of black people.
Where did that
Racial,
go?
sorry. What I do. Partly. We're producing 2 generations, yours included.
Okay.
Not at the higher end, the younger millennials. And Generation Z, who can't cope with the world.
Oh yeah,
We're overwhelmed.
and I get my point now. So one of the things that I've thought about recently was how I look at how things are structured today. We get to see so much with the way that things are set up with social media, with just everything in general. Everything's almost at our fingertips.
So you don't have to look at it, though.
No, but I get it. It's
real easy.
So check this out, though.
I'm checking.
I have days where I look at, you could just follow a couple blogs or, things, and you'll see negativity all day, every day. They're highlighting all of the worst things that are going on, basically, every day. And I think to myself as a 30-year-old man, who doesn't walk outside and feel, threatened by other people, that, comfortable in my own skin, I'm confident. I think about the people that don't have that, that don't feel that, and how much they see, but also the feeling that I have when I see certain things where I'm like, this scares me a little bit. And I'm like, if I feel this way, I can only imagine how some other people may feel, because at a younger age, I couldn't have imagined being exposed to knowing all that I, would be able to know now, because I was kind of sheltered from it. I don't know if it was because, my mom, protected me.
I don't
from
like
those
the word
things.
no. I like the word exposed.
Yeah, because it is a better word. I would say that.
You're exposed to more.
Because I wasn't looking
But
for
you don't
these
know
things.
more
Exactly, I agree.
than my generation or the
No,
one in
exposed
front of
is the
me.
right word.
But you are exposed to more.
And that's what I mean, though. I think if I were exposed to certain things at an earlier age on a regular basis and it became like norm, like for instance, and I'm just going to bring this up because we're talking about children, school shootings. If I was hearing about something like that happening all the time and I was going to school every day, I think I would be a little bit anxious and a little bit paranoid.
No, I'm not discounting or dissuading or trying to suggest
Yeah.
that your generation, my generation, Gen Z, that all generations have to deal with anxiety.
Yeah.
All generations have to. Death, dread, disease, and despair
Yeah.
are human. It's the
Those are
human condition.
things. Yeah.
There's no age,
Yeah, for sure. I
death,
agree.
dread, disease, despair. Everybody deals with it.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm quibbling about is what haven't we done to equip you with the tools that we were equipped with?
Yeah.
Because I had to get on the
Yeah.
Q6 every morning.
Knowing.
That's a bus in Queens,
Yeah.
right? And ride through South Side Jamaica, Queens. A lot of anxiety.
Yeah, every day.
A lot of anxiety. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I hope nobody knows.
Yeah.
I only have 10 cents in my pocket. I hope I don't have to get into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But I was equipped some kind of way
To mentally get through that every day.
to get through it and to not let it destroy me
Yeah.
or ruin my happiness. Right? I experienced it, and the way I dealt with it is I leave it where it is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
When it's over, it's over.
That's a true New York way to go about it, too, though.
I'm off the train. Where are my potato chips?
But coming from, so
and my
we gotta
little
think,
icy drink.
you got to think from the perspective of someone that's not from a New
And
York.
the barbecue corn chips.
If you grew up in a small town in Iowa,
You ever had barbecue corn chips
I have
from the
had
bodega
barbecue.
in New
Yes,
York,
I
baby?
have. Yes, I have.
And a
I can
Snicker
taste
bar?
them just hearing it.
Snicker bar.
I can taste the barbecue corn chips
You know,
right now.
you see what I'm
Just from you
saying?
bringing it up.
That'll bring your joy back.
Just from you bringing it up, I can actually taste it right now.
That's how we got through it. Barbecue corn chips.
Yeah.
Fritos.
And
You-
those
you were
are the
making a point,
things that I do notice are different, though. Like I grew up still at a time where I would go outside and I would go play with my friends on my street. I would come home when it got dark, and it wasn't something that I felt like, was a super dangerous situation because that was the culture and that was what we did.
But it was more dangerous in the 90s, my friend.
I know, but it wasn't something that we were thinking of as being as dangerous because we weren't constantly being exposed to all these negative things that were going on every day where we were still living our lives. Regardless of what's going on in the world, we can't live in fear. I think that that's something that universally as humans we have to get over the older that we get, is that you can't live your life in fear all the time or else you're never going to live.
But fear, and again, I'm not,
I think the
I don't mean to go on and
anxiety
on.
comes with
But fear of what? What are y'all afraid of?
People be afraid of certain things happening just
give me
because they know it
examples.
happens.
This is a real question.
Well, I mean, you hear, let's use an example since we live in Los Angeles. I mean, you see people that are getting mugged and robbed nowadays randomly all the time. And you don't know when something like that could happen.
It's always been the case.
Exactly.
It's
though.
never not been the case.
But you feel like it's more of a threat when every time you open social
You see it
media.
on the phone all the time.
Exactly. And now you're like, oh, this must be happening all the time because that's all I'm seeing. And now people are afraid to leave their house because of those type of reasons. That's my problem with the media highlighting only the negative things that go on in the world, because it leads to a way of thinking for people that make them assume that these things are constantly a threat to them when nobody should have to live like that. That wasn't something that was being shoved down our throat unless we turned the news on and we actually went to a channel that was reporting on, news that was happening, or CNN. Now, you don't even have to be on CNN or watching TV.
Well, let me say that.
It's going to find you.
First, I agree. Mm-hmm. What you say has great credibility. Here's the pushback.
What's up?
This phone and these social media apps are tuned to adjust themselves to what I give attention to.
Okay.
And how long I watch it.
So
So if I'm on TikTok and I see shooting, beating, robbing, mugging, and I'm stopping to look at it, it's adjusting itself to the attention that I'm giving it.
Well, they've done a great job of finding ways to make you want to at least look at it for a second or longer because it's clickbait. They're putting something in your face that they know is going to be very hard for you to look away from. And that's the whole point of them doing it. And that's the problem, is because they're doing it just for attention, not with any sort of psychology in mind for how it affects people. And that's just where my problem is, I feel like.
Let me push back. I think they're exploiting, the real problem.
Yeah.
And the real problem is people are not sophisticated enough not to be duped into clickbait.
Yeah. And I think that's been clearly evident.
It says on the
headline or whatever.
On the headline, so and so pees on best friend.
That's all they got to put, and somebody's going to be clicking it just because of the
people are
first
rushing
few
to it.
words, just because of the caption. It's a crazy world we live in, man.
It is.
It really is.
And I don't mean to be hard on
You're not. I can handle
Generation Z or your generation.
I can handle it.
I just don't understand how
they soft. Let's be real. You could call it like it is.
we've gone through
People are
way
getting softer
harder
and softer.
stuff in this country, and now y'all can't get over a video.
Yeah, but I think that it also does come with some kind of conditioning because you see enough of something. Too much of anything is bad for you in my eyes. And I think they're doing way too much negativity when it comes to,
Fight for your life,
stuff.
people.
Yeah, we fighting for our lives. And I'm just thinking about the kids that don't know no better. Parents got to step in and really do something about this kind of stuff.
We went into a rabbit hole.
We sure did, man. That was a serious. We hit a nerve.
Where the hell are we in this episode?
Forgot we were all judged that, but feel like we were smoking a cigar in the lounge or something.
I'm glad you said cigar.
Yeah, no.
That's good. We don't want to get canceled.
I don't even think I need to do
cigars
this
in
next
here?
time. No.
Oh, the fire alarm? Okay. Well, doggone it.
And this is by way of CNN. How many times can you wear pajamas, jeans, and other clothes without washing them?
For me, endless.
Yeah.
Endless amounts of time. I'm not ashamed to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why, is there a rule or something?
I don't personally have a rule. I feel like, I can wear jeans more than once if they didn't get dirty. And I wasn't like trying to play basketball in them or something. Like, if I wasn't sweating and I was just,
Yeah, if you don't have musty balls.
yeah, lightly worn,
if
my sweat level was tolerable.
Yeah.
I'm good on wearing something more than once.
But where's this going?
So a dermatologist says that people tend to overwash and over hygiene themselves, especially in America, because we have a luxury of being able to do that stuff all the time. And that washing things too seldom could lead to skin problems or infections, and washing them too often could harm your clothing. So, there's different things that are, affecting, why people do this as much as they do or as little as they do. And experts are saying that there are a few types that should be washed after every use, like your underwear, socks, tights, leggings, and activewear.
Those should be washed after every
single use.
Now, do you wash your underwear every time you wear them?
Yeah, I don't usually put on dirty underwear. I can't do that. But the thing is, some people just don't wash their ass and be wearing underwear for multiple days in a row.
I'm asking a different question though. Very few of us wear the same pair of underwear every day. But what I'm saying is, do you wash them after every use?
No, they go in the bin, and then they go in the bin and they wait until ever.
Is that what? Because I understood them to say that after every time you wear them, you should wash them.
Well, they were saying after every use. Okay, so yeah,
it could be what you're saying.
It can be delayed on the wash, but as long as you're not wearing them and putting them back on after you done walked around in them all day, that's usually probably.
Okay, here's a crazy subject. We're about to go down a rabbit hole. Aaron, you ready?
Yeah.
You ready? You ready? I have discovered that most people don't know how to wash their ass.
How did you come to this discovery?
Listen, it started out with my son. They didn't know how to wash their ass.
Did you test them to find out, like,
Listen.
you just have them come over and not put no soap in there and just see if they say something? Like, you ain't asked me about no soap being in there.
I mean the actual wiping of the ass.
Oh, just the whole.
Like most people don't know, you can't just go from the back. You got to go from the front too.
To the back.
You know what I'm saying? You got to get it both ways. You got to go back
about
here.
Like sitting on the toilet.
Then you got to do both. You got to do both because you can reach things from the front. Come on,
you can't
God.
reach from the back.
Yet you can't reach from the back. It's on me today, Doc. It's on me. And what I've discovered that people don't know how to either wipe their ass or they don't know how to wash their ass.
Oh, man.
Listen, PSA, if you are just wiping your ass from one direction, it's not clean.
It's not clean enough.
You got to go back and front. You get it all that way, okay?
Whew. Man.
You're welcome.
You're going to have people thinking about you when they sitting on the toilet next.
I would rather have a generation thank me later for having clean asses
We have had some
than
moments
for
on
us to
this show.
persist in what's happening in this world.
If that's how you feel.
It's ridiculous. People don't know how to do it.
What did your kids say to you when you told them?
Pops, you always do this. You always embarrass us. Why?
I'm 18 now. I can wipe my own ass.
25. It's like,
Let me wipe my own ass.
it's like, you need to get this right so that you can teach your kids how to
Yeah, I
do this.
can't have you out here just.
Yeah, you out here with doo-doo stains in your drawers at 30. They don't blame me for that.
And your kids gonna learn after you.
Yeah,
we
no,
can't
do
have
it
that.
right.
Yeah, we just, whew, that'll mess up a family tree, huh?
It will. It'll make your wife leave you.
I believe that. You ain't gonna get a wife doing
Like,
that.
wait a minute, your hygiene is terrible.
Just off the charts.
Musty pants.
Underwear standing up on their own. Like, what the hell's going on in here? Yeah, no, I hear you on that one.
Totally off the rails.
Definitely. You said it was coming, though. So
I warned everybody.
yeah. So, question before we end that point.
Okay.
Okay.
You
How
gotta take
many-
a full break.
because there's a couple different questions that I could ask. I'm thinking about which one do I want to ask you. Do you do the smell test on your underwear before you put them on? Is that just a man thing that we do? Do you think women do it?
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Wait. You just said to me that you don't wear. Something's not looking up.
I don't.
We just caught his ass, people.
But no,
We just caught his
even
ass.
when I pull
You
my
just
stuff,
said to me,
even when I pull it out of my
why
drawer,
do you need to smell it if
I
it's
have a
clean?
habit of smelling everything before I, like, literally. I smell my shirt.
Put in the chat if you believe
I do.
what he just said.
Anybody that knows me, I even smell drinks before I drink them, even if it's water.
I think people, you agree or disagree, that the statement he made earlier that he only wears them if they're fresh is not entirely true.
Man, I wear
Why would
fresh
you
underwear.
smell drawers fresh out the dryer?
I smell everything. First of all, if anything's going on my body or going in my mouth, I'm smelling it before it go in there. I need to know what I'm dealing with. And if, I don't know. It's just a habit. I think I got it from my dad when I was younger. I smell everything. Like, no lie. If I'm eating something or drinking something, I'm going to smell it before I eat or drink
I
it.
don't do that. I don't smell my drawers
No.
before they're coming out of the drawer.
I know. Just want to
They're
make sure
clean. I
they
don't
still
need to
smell good.
them. Now, if I'm going to put them on again,
You go smell.
then I'm going to smell them. I want to make sure that
It's a habit for me
whatever's
regardless.
in there don't get out.
It literally is a habit regardless for me. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
I don't even think about it.
You really covered that with the habit remark.
You don't believe me.
No. I think that you put on the same pair of drawers.
No. I got a lot of underwear. I don't have to, honestly. I could
It
probably
has
go.
nothing to do with the amount of drawers.
I could go 3 months without having a wash.
People, he is dissimulating.
I don't
It
have
has
to
nothing
do that.
To do with the amount of, you can have 100 million pair and be lazy and be like, just grab those right there.
I'm not going to do that. Come
Everybody
on.
does that. Aaron,
Nah.
you ever do that?
See?
You know what? You
See?
over there.
Thank you, Aaron.
Don't be. You've never just grabbed a pair off the floor.
No, but if I were to, I would smell it and be like, oh, not those. I'm going to go to the drawer.
Well, listen, I'm gonna be the only one to tell the truth. I've grabbed a pair off the floor and kept it moving.
I'm not even trying to have you
Okay.
tell on yourself
I
like
have.
that.
I've grabbed a pair off the floor and kept it moving. Listen, I'm late. You know what?
Now, socks I have done, I will say. I've worn some socks and I've been like, f it at times. But underwear is a little bit harder for me. Something about them dirty underwear touching you just would feel just highly uncomfortable for me. Because I don't even like when I'm wearing sweat.
It's the emphasis of touching you that you just went through that was uncomfortable.
Yeah, because
touching.
just sweaty underwear and used underwear just does not sound.
But what if we're off the rails?
Yeah, we off the rails.
But what if you weren't sweaty and it was a very clean day for you?
I feel like even after a clean day, your underwear just look worn. Like they just look like they're worn, and that worn. I need them to be tight and fresh.
Tidy and right.
I need it to be when I put it on, it's still sticking to my legs and my body. I don't want to put it on and it be loose already like I wore it all day. You know what I'm talking about? You know the difference?
Yeah.
There's a difference. I don't like that feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta have it fresh, or I just feel dingy.
Now, do you go commando ever?
If I have to, if I'm forced to, but not often. It's
I go commando all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
commando right now in this interview.
all the time.
All the time.
Man, you're a different breed. Y'all
all
are
the time.
different.
I don't really like underwear.
Y'all are different.
It's annoying. Gets
That's
in
a
the
funny
way.
thing. There's probably so many people. That
Eric,
have
you
so
go
many different-
commando?
Yeah. See, it's a circumstantial.
Yeah. You go commando? It's
Like if you forget them and you got to change, like say I was working out or something and I'm leaving to go somewhere and I got to change in a shower and I don't want to put the same underwear on because I just wore them, I'll go commando because I'm like, you know what? It's better than wearing these nasty.
Wait. People, this has turned into a whole thing. We've gone into a whole thing, people. There are a bunch of men in the studio, okay? So there's no women here. Tyler over here says
Women probably worried about it.
He'd rather wear dirty underwear
Than none.
than go commando. What?
I don't know about you. This thing's cold.
It's very uncomfortable, but I prefer it over wearing dirty ones personally for me.
Yes,
Just
sir.
because, like I said, that feeling of them being on me is like, huh. And should you come into a situation where, you know, somebody ends up down there other than yourself, the last reputation you want is like, oh, it was very pungent down there.
Oh, what you got to
That's just not a situation.
but no, ladies, we're getting the truth. So you only really change your drawers
For them.
in the event that somebody will be down in those drawers later on. You want to make sure that you look good. The truth has come out. People.
No, it's for me.
Ladies, he's changing.
But I said, God
he's changing
forbid.
his drawers for you.
I think that's just one of my bigger fears. Put it that way.
It was one of his fears. It's one of his millennial fears.
We got reputations though.
Somebody smelling the pungent odor of his daily musk.
Oh, that is right.
This is
We need to end this episode here. I think we got it.
off the rails.
I hope y'all enjoyed this.
Wait, you don't do the closing, I do.
I'm trying to get us out of here so we don't get fired.
Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. Another great episode of Judge Dad Verdicts. He can't talk because he's enraptured with the laughter and the humor.
Man.
And the truth that he only changes his drawers for the
not
ladies.
true.
Because
Don't.
he wants to make sure that when y'all do what you do, it'll be nice and fresh where it special places. All right, people, we've understood that this one over here, he would rather wear dirty drawers than clean drawers. And my man over there, Aaron, he's all over the place. Depends on how it feels.
Ooh, we should take a poll.
I already told you about me, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm proud of what I do. It's gotten me this far, and I'm older than all these damn people in here. All right, everybody.
Oh,
Thank you
man.
for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Off the rails.
Till next time.
Hey, everybody on the YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see, make sure you like and comment and share because we got to spread the joy, people. That's how it goes. See you next time.